You're listening to the PPL Podcast. Now for your host, Darren Perkey.
Hey everybody, what's up? It is Darren Perkey here, PPL Podcast, episode number 7. I think I didn't check. I should have done that before the audio started, but it doesn't matter. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Mark Zuckerberg's update for Facebook, what he wants to going forward. A lot of controversy around this, so kind of want to give you my thoughts and how maybe to counteract some of this. And also, we're going to jump a little bit to the YouTube creator stuff. For those of you who are on YouTube, there's been an update to how you can get monetized going forward. I'm not very big on YouTube. I don't do a whole lot of stuff there, but I want to kind of share some thoughts on that as well. So let's jump into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is the Facebook stuff. Obviously, I'm a big proponent of Facebook. I'm a huge user of Facebook. And, you know, I kind of want to read. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of the highlights of the post that Mark Zuckerberg did. I have, if you go to the comment section here on YouTube, you'll see ppl.agency / Zuck update. I have a link there to the. I have like a little. I have a little a Google Doc that you can read over. I have it highlighted of what I think is in kind of important. I'm going to read those to you now, so you can hear them. And I'll put the link to the actual blog post from him, so you can see it as well, just so you can read the actual note. But this is a copy of that. Just understand that. Anyway. So basically, I'm going to read this in a kind of like Cliff Notes version of this. So one of the big focus areas for 2018 is making sure the time we all spend on Facebook is time well spent. But recently, we've gotten feedback from our community that public content posts from businesses, brands, and media is crowding out the personal moments that lead us to connect more with each other. And we feel a responsibility to make sure our services aren't just fun to use, but also good for people's well-being. So we've studied this trend carefully by looking at the academic research and doing our own research with leading experts at universities. The research shows that when we use social media to connect with people that we care about, it can be good for our well-being. Based on this, we're making a major change to how we build Facebook. And then he goes on to say, this is kind of like 2 paragraphs here. As you roll this out, you'll see less public content like posts from businesses, brands, and media. And the public content you see more will be held to the same standard. It should encourage meaningful interactions between people. That's really kind of their goal with this. For example, there are many tight-knit communities around TV shows and sports teams. We've seen people interact way more around live videos than regular ones. Some news helps start conversations on important issues, but too often today, watching video, reading news, or getting a page update is just a passive experience. I want to be clear. By making these changes, I expect the time people spend on Facebook and some measures of engagement will go down. But I also expect the time you do spend on Facebook to be more meaningful and more valuable. So that's the nutshell of what it is. So here's a couple things that I think are important, right? Your Facebook page. Now, I have a page of like 29,000 followers or so. I don't engage very often with them, so it's usually like once or twice a month that I post something. It's usually when I'm traveling somewhere, I post some selfies, I get some engagement. That's about it, right? I don't really do a whole lot on my page. So the point of all that is that it's never meant Facebook pages. If you don't have regular engaging content where people want to seek that content out, you're going to have an issue with getting traction in the newsfeed. That's just how it works, right? So here's a couple of strategies that I think might work well. I'm assuming, going forward. Listen, Facebook ads is not changing. Just it clearly says public posts. If you have a regular page, public content that you just post one time, and people finding that it's gonna be a lot less, obviously. But Facebook has always been a pay-to-play kind of platform for the most part, and so nothing's really changing on that fact. Actually, if people are, it could help with some targeting stuff, I think, in the future by not having all this noise, because like for instance, I have a coaching program, so if you look through the coaching stuff, if you ever look into coaching, you'll see a million different coaches talking to, which hurts me because it's like I'm competing with the other guys now, in theory, right? Now, I don't run ads anymore for my coaching program, but you get the idea. We're getting a lot of referrals, but the point is that it's there, right? So the way I think makes a lot of sense is have a regular schedule. So have your Tuesday updates, have your Friday, whatever it is, have a regular schedule of that you put up and say, hey guys, every Friday at 3 o'clock, I'm going to post the thought of the week or whatever it is that you're doing in your business. Now, obviously for me, I do pay per lead. if I was trying to get people into my program on a regular basis, or because we do ours once a quarter now, but if I was doing it on a regular basis, I would probably have like a Friday, let's learn on, or maybe a lunch and learn Thursday, where every Thursday at 1 o'clock I post a video that it's like a 20-minute. You can do it while you're eating your lunch, and you can listen to that video. I make it quote unquote a live video. Obviously, live is playing very well on Facebook right now. It's obviously working really well. It's very much of a newsfeed thing. Live video is always going to play more. And he kind of mentioned that. I don't remember what it was now. He kind of mentioned that in that article. So if you could do like a live thing and have a regular schedule where it's like your episode, like your TV show is always Friday nights at 8 o'clock, you could have your Facebook show always be at X, because obviously Facebook is becoming a video platform as well. Obviously, I mean, and I would say the same thing with Instagram as well. I'm not really on Instagram, but obviously for business stuff, it has its value, and obviously advertising, and obviously Facebook owns Instagram, so kind of makes sense there. But I would have some kind of regular schedule, and we'll talk about this a little more about the YouTube side. But you got to create a following. I mean, that's the whole idea. Is like, find out what people want and give it to them. Otherwise, I mean, listen, unless you're a celebrity where you can like get people who follow you because you're you, which is it's rare to do that in a business sense. It's hard to get that to that level. You have to have something kind of out there already. But I think kind of scheduling stuff and having a known thing where you're kind of known for, or one thing too, I don't see a lot of people using on Facebook is utilizing hashtags. I know it's not necessarily a cool thing to do all the time, but sometimes people use too many. But you can capture a hashtag if it's something there that people are searching for. You can kind of get into that. Remember, this is social media, right? You have to be social on social media. The whole idea is to interact with people, and your business can do that if it has. Listen, it might not be a public where like in your actual news feed, people won't see it. But if you're creating good content all the time that people want to engage in and want to look at and want to go to, I think obviously a better platform maybe going forward would be a Facebook group. But you got people to your Facebook group, so you can always run an ad. Who did that really well was the guy from Lionzille. I don't remember his name now, but the guy from Lionzille I saw for a while. This is maybe 6 to 12 months ago. He had a pretty big campaign running through Facebook ads. I'm not sure how large it was, but I'm saying like it was on for a while to get people. It's from Lionzille to get people into his group. I thought that was really smart. It worked out really well. And so you're not actually advertising your group; you're advertising from your page, and then having a link to the group. That's how that worked. So that was pretty interesting, pretty cool. It was really smart. And I think, with the lead ad, I mean, eventually I think some of the Facebook ad stuff will evolve. I think you'll be able to start running ads eventually for a group off of a Facebook page, off of Business Manager. I think that'll be something that'll probably evolve. This just makes logical sense to me. I really wish Facebook would get better at their calendar, because if that's another play they could have, is like have your calendar built into it where it has in your newsfeed updates. Because they know how much time you spend on Facebook. They'll be able to tell you what's coming up in your day and what events happening. So, imagine a day where you're watching a video and you're, how you always, that's another thing too. I'll tell you that in a second. But the idea of like being able to scroll through a newsfeed, watching a couple of videos and saying, hey, this video is 25 minutes long, but you have a meeting in 15. Are you sure you want to start the video? That's like, it can be like your AI for you in a way, Another thing too is like, I really can't stand Facebook's mid-roll ads. So if you're watching a video, like 8 seconds into it, they have another ad show up. It's just 9 times out of 10, unless I'm really, really, really interested in that video, I will not be watching it. I will move on to the next thing in my news feed. So that's one thing I think where Facebook could get stuff. And I'm watching a video, even for like I was watching a friend's video. I think it was with their kid, and basically in the middle of that, another ad showed up. I'm like, come on, man, like that's crazy. It's just that kind of stuff is really annoying. So there's some things that I would change to Facebook. Obviously, these guys are billionaires and they know what the hell they're doing. But I don't think Facebook ads will change. I've said, listen, I told you guys before. I told you this back in 2016. 2018 and beyond, Facebook ads are going to get more expensive, but that doesn't mean they're not still cheap. You got to remember, when's the last time you saw a Coca-Cola ad? When's the last time you saw a Pepsi ad or a Chevrolet ad in your newsfeed, right? Maybe for a local dealership. I'm talking about a national brand, right? There's still a lot of national huge brands that are not advertising on Facebook. So I think once you start to see it, now watch me as I say this on a microphone on my computer, I will start seeing those ads, I'm sure now. But you very rarely see big, large national companies advertising to you. It's very rare. Some of the maybe direct product stuff, but maybe like Amazon will, obviously, because I do like retargeting and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're not going to see cold unless you've been somewhere before, like you've been to another, like, you know, what they call retargeting in Facebook or remarketing in Google, you'll basically won't see those ads unless you've gone to their page before. So I think once you start to see big players, I think 2018 is the year. I think this is going to happen. I've been saying this for a while. I think 20. I said this, and I said it'd be 2018, 2016, saying that I think it'll be 2018 is when everybody starts to figure it out, because I knew that just a logical evolution. So Facebook ads for all of us kind of started in late 2012, and I started using them then, and I've run quite a few dollars through the program. And you're just seeing the evolution, like they keep constantly adding stuff that you can do, and different ways to segment people, and how you actually what kind of campaigns and ads you can actually run, and then, you know, with the power of being able to retarget and set up lookalike audiences, that kind of stuff too, it's really powerful. But once the big corporations start to realize that spending, you know, a couple $100,000 a day in TV ads, I will say Facebook. I will say the Super Bowl ad's totally worth it. If I had them, you know, if I had the what I call the petty cash to run a Facebook ad, not Facebook ad, a Super Bowl ad, I would do it. If it's it's $5 million, whatever it is this year for the okay, you're not going to get more attention than that, right? The whole point is to have people watching your brand. No better place to do it than that. You're going to have a billion people or so. I don't know the numbers, but over a billion people, I'm sure, watching your stuff. So pretty good, especially if they're funny, because they'll be on a bunch of like re-rolls of stuff like, hey, what's the funniest commercials that you saw? That's why Doritos does it every year, right? But anyway, so there's that. I just think Facebook is evolving. I think it's totally fine. And as entrepreneurs, our job is to fill the gaps. That's what we do for the business, right? People say, oh, AI is coming, Facebook's changing, AdWords is changing, the Maps section in Google's changing. Okay, man. We're entrepreneurs. Our job title is gap filler. We fill the gaps, right? When something changes, there's an arbitrage opportunity or a need that's not being filled, we'll find it and we'll fill that gap with the service. And that's what we do as entrepreneurs, right? We don't create jobs for ourselves. I mean, sometimes it ends up that way, but our real focus is problem solving and gap filling. It's what we do. We find gaps, we problem solve that gap, and we create a business around that gap, and we make the gap go away. That's what we do for a living. So if Facebook creates a gap, we'll figure it out. I still think Facebook ads are ridiculously cheap. Some people complain about a $15 conversion. You know, my personal injury ads through Facebook, because we have a multiple step funnel where we have like retargeting and stuff through Facebook. My entire funnel is like $127 for a lead. Now I can get that through Facebook. I can get that through Google for almost the same price. But now, should that be more optimized? Of course. And somebody will be in the comment section somewhere on the World Wide Web saying that I suck at optimizing Facebook ads now, I'm sure, but that's okay. I make a lot of money doing it, so I'm all right with it. I don't spend too much time optimizing things that are profitable. But you can do you can run it as and, you know, we're getting $1.20 clicks sometimes. Obviously, some are less than that, of course, but we're super targeted on certain things. And, you know, if you're willing to dabble into that, you can do that. What I see a lot of people do wrong with Facebook ads is they'll try to capture everybody. I think you should have multiple campaigns for multiple people, like different types of segmentation for different types of people. It's kind of like the ask method, right? So instead of asking them what they want, I mean, which, you know, we should probably be doing on our ads as well, we actually just assume what they want and then give them a version of the ad that fits that criteria. Obviously, you know, the next evolution of that would be to say, hey, which do you prefer? And then let them choose and then have a retargeting campaign based on that, right? So that's the next evolution. But, you know, the evolution from our side for the marketing side. But for Facebook, I think it makes a lot of sense for Facebook, right? The point of Facebook is to, you know, back in the day when, I know for those of you guys who are relatively new to the internet, MySpace isn't really a thing that you know about. But MySpace, you didn't have fake friends on there. It was like people you actually knew were your MySpace friends. You didn't have even Friendster even more. Like Friendster and MySpace were like, hey, you were my friend. Like you were definitely my friend if you were on MySpace. Like I knew who you were. It was, and even when Facebook first started, it was that way. It was very like you had at least met in person. You wouldn't connect unless you actually met. Now it's like, you know. But listen, even with Facebook ads, right? So like for me, in the new age of Facebook, when this change is over, what I'll end up doing is I'll create a post and I'll run a $10 budget to it for the week, right? I'll run, maybe a little more. Maybe I'll do like $5 a day for the week, right? So if you do that a month, it's $100 a month to post on a platform with 1 billion people on it, and you can target who you want to see it. I don't know, man. It's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little story right there, right? So if you did, if you did $5 a day during Monday through Friday, that's $25 a week times four. It's $100 a month. I mean, you're paying $99 for things you probably don't even use. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you have a course that you're still in that you're not paying. Like I've been a digital marketer for 3 years, man. I've never once logged into that stupid thing. It's $38.60 a month. I've never logged. I logged into it I think twice because I was showing someone something on one of my VAs, but I don't think I've watched any of the videos. But I like to have stuff like that there. I like to have things in my arsenal. In case I need to go out to something and try to help explain things. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about YouTube now, because the YouTube Partner Program just got a new update as well. It was before, like mid part of last year, maybe the end of the first quarter of 2017. They kind of came out with the thing where your eligibility for the partnership program was 10,000 lifetime views, which I think a lot of people had. But I think now with the Logan Paul thing that came out, in case you guys don't know what that is, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but basically this YouTuber... I basically went to the suicide forest in Japan and showed a dead body. Really dumb. And anyway, so basically now YouTube is updating their partner program to where you have to have at least 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months. That's important because I had that on my channel, but not in the last 12 months. It's been over the last couple of years. And then, and you also have to have a thousand subscribers at least. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is crazy," they're trying to take the money away from the little guy. But listen, if you have less than that, you're making less than $100 per year anyway. So you're not making a lot of money from YouTube. And this is where I think it's really smart for YouTube. For those of you who don't know, YouTube's actually not profitable. It's never been profitable. YouTube is not making money. It's one of the few assets from Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, that is not making money. It does not make money at all. It never has. It probably won't for a while. I think what's really smart about this, though, is that it allows creators on YouTube to build community first and then monetize. Right now, we're very much in a monetize first and then build a community later, because it doesn't take very much time to get into the partner program. So now we're saying, hey, listen, you have to develop a community with some subscribers, people following you first, and then once you start to build that community, we'll start to let you monetize stuff, and you can see how that works. You can kind of learn the platform, learn how to do stuff. My only concern is hopefully they'll let you I don't know why they don't have this already, but unless in the partner program you can schedule your videos out. You can say when you want to post a video. You can kind of you can put it, you can load it, and then you can update it later. There's things you can do with the partner program, but you don't have for regular YouTube channels. So I'm wondering if that'll stay the same. I hope it does. I think it should be for everybody anyway. But yeah, listen. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's not making money from this, right? There's probably I think the number was 99% of those people were making less than $100 per year anyway, and then so it doesn't really make a difference. The point here is listen, I make a little bit over $100 a year from YouTube, from slash Darren Perky, but I'm not a YouTuber. I don't put stuff consistently. It's every now and then. It's mostly I'll put a video up every now and then. I started to do a couple of series here and there, but never really took off. So not because they didn't take off. I mean, that's obviously the case too, but I just didn't do anything with them. I just kind of started them up and I was like, all right, we're done. I don't have time for this right now. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I think the idea of building the community and building a following first, and then there's questions behind that, right? So if videos aren't being monetized, is YouTube going to recommend those videos? That's a question, right? So this becomes a play with the whole Facebook thing too. Can you get people to your content? So maybe short content on, a quick version of that to go watch your video on YouTube to get more views, more subs, right? Really pushing the subs thing. But listen, if you don't have 1,000 subscribers and you're not getting a lot of, views or a lot of hours of watch time, you're not really generating enough traction to even be. I mean, like I said, it's $100 a year. It's like nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, less than $10 a month is not a, it's not a side business. So I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's actually good for YouTube. I think it's healthy for YouTube. They're supposed to be having more manual reviews of videos and clips and stuff like that, and easier stuff like that. I just don't know if that's going to happen. That's a lot of work. But if you're thriving, if you're doing well, you're growing viewers, you're going to make money. But if the idea of that you monetize that first doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It makes sense that you do build a community around your channel, and then once you kind of figure out that kind of stuff, then you can start monetizing. I think that helps a lot of things, because there's a lot of people that have four or five videos and they're monetizing stuff. Which again, it's not that they're making money from those, but what's happening is that it's taking away ad space to people who are actually doing well and making YouTube a better place. So I think it's fine. Anyway, that's the end of the episode today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys on the next episode of the PPL podcast. See you later.